Hey, this is Bob from Dogwatch Cigar Radio.
And this is Dale, and you're watching a video review on StogieReview.com.
Excellent.
That one sounded okay.
Welcome to another edition of the Stogie Review video review, and I am your host, Walt, from the StogieReview.com. And as usual, this is my Monday morning, or Monday cigar review, actually recorded on Sunday. And up this week, as promised, I have the Torano, Casa Torano. This particular cigar was released in 2004, and it is the commercial version of the Torano house blend. And they run about $4 a piece at my local tobacconist. Anyway, this is the Robusto size. It's a 52 ring gauge by 4 3/4. So about average girth and length. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And cut wasn't so great on this one, to be completely honest with you. A little ragged. Might be time to clean my poly a little bit. But anyway, the pre-light draw is a little firm, just as the other ones I've smoked. And it does have a sort of a floral-like taste to it on the pre-light draw. Now, as far as some of the characteristics of the cigar go, it's very light in color. It's sort of like a really pale leather or a tan color. It's pretty smooth. There are a couple of lumpy-looking veins that run throughout, but you really can't feel them as you slide it through your fingers. It's pretty firm. There's a soft spot every here and there, but nothing that I'm overly concerned about. Overall, it looks to be constructed pretty well. It's got a very mild aroma, and the only thing that does kind of jump out at me is there's a green line in the cigar, and I'm not quite sure what that is, but it doesn't look like mold or anything, so I'm not really going to worry about it. It just looks like a little bit of a stain on the wrapper. No big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and toast and light and get things underway. Alright, looks like I'm just about completely toasted, and go ahead and light it. Well, I'm all lit up, as obviously you can see that. It's pumping off, a pretty heavy amount of smoke, but hopefully that'll lighten up a little bit. Draw's a little firm. You don't get, a whole lot of smoke out of the cigar, and it's kind of surprising because it feels pretty good, but it's been characteristic of all the other Casa Toranos I've had. I think this is number 3, and up front, it's like mild to medium in body. It's just really bland in flavor. There's a really, really mild kind of a toasty flavor, and that's it. That's all I can taste at this point. Finish is a little dry. And really, that's about it. There's not a whole lot to the cigar at this point. So I'm gonna kick back for a little, smoke a little bit further into this, and hopefully something more will develop, and we'll start discussing that in a bit. Welcome back. I'm making my way into the first third. I'm about an inch and a quarter into the cigar. And overall, things look really good. The burn line's nice and thin. It's nice and even. The ash is fairly light. It's not real dark. It looks decent. By looking at the ash, everything looks like it should. There's no strange happenings going on in the ash to make you think that there's some kind of awkward burn issue inside the cigar. Overall, everything looks good. Cosmetically, this is a really nice looking cigar. And that ash is pretty firm too. The body at this point is still, it's mild to medium, but it's getting more along the lines of medium. It's got a little bit of a spiciness that kind of gets you in the back of the throat, which I hadn't experienced until this particular cigar. What I did was I actually reclipped the end to get rid of some of that raggedy tobacco I had on the end, and ever since I did that, the draw is a little bit better. It's still a little firm, but it's manageable. I'm getting good volumes of smoke. It's it's nice and light and airy and nice and light in color, and overall it's decent. I'm getting a little bit of spice through the back of my throat. And aside from that, it's just got like a toasty flavor to it. There's not much else going on. It's still kind of bland. There's just nothing that really grabs your attention so far. And really, that's about all there is at this point. So sorry to report that not a whole lot going on. But anyway, the resting smoke that's actually coming off the cigar has lightened up considerably. Now there's hardly anything coming off the cigar. The burn rate is slowed down considerably. And the room aroma is pretty mild. Overall, this is a pretty mild, and it's just a mild-bodied and mild-flavored cigar. So really, that's about all there is to it. And I'm pairing that with just some water tonight. Nothing special. I knew ahead of time that this was going to be a very mild cigar, so I wanted to make sure that I was drinking something like water that wasn't going to impart any flavors on the cigar, and I really didn't want to be thrown off just because of how mild the cigar is. But anyway, I'm going to sit back, smoke a little bit more, and I'll be back in a few, and we'll go over the second, third characteristics of the cigar. Welcome back. It hasn't been too long. Maybe 15-20 minutes since I turned the camera off, and the cigar seems to be taking a little bit of a turn for the worst. The ash is still pretty firm, but it's actually turning darker in color, and it's getting more, I guess the word for it would be coarse. It just looks more rough and tumbled than it did initially, and the flavor's starting to get a little harsh too. A little bit of spiciness in the back of my throat. It's turning more into a harsh flavor that I'm really not into. The base flavors are still sort of toasty, and it's got a little bit of a nutty aftertaste to it. Finish lasts after each puff. It'll linger around on your palate for maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Not terribly long, but not quite short either. As far as actual smoking goes, actually you can see it in the camera, there's quite a bit of resting smoke coming off the cigar once again. The burn rate is elevated. It's burning quite fast. It still produces a lot of smoke. The draw is not quite as firm as it was before. It's getting better. The downside now is it's actually getting a little hotter too. Even when I slow down the rate at which I puff on the cigar, it's still getting a little warm. So that's about all there is at this point. Aside from the fact that the body's still about medium. At this point, the cigar's okay. It's performing well, but the flavor at this point is just not to my liking. But I still have an overview to do, so I won't get too involved in that. I like to do a couple of minutes on what I've been smoking, but I've done so many videos this week that you've seen everything that I've smoked. To be honest with you, I really don't remember what I smoked on Monday. Friday, I did the Padron 1964, which was a good cigar. Yesterday, I had actually a Carlos Torano 1916 Cameron, which turned out to be a very good cigar. and kind of rounding out the week with the Casa Torano, and that's really all there is. As far as next week goes, I really have no idea what I'm going to be smoking. Really haven't given it much thought. Possibly a 601 Habano by EO Brands, which is a Don Pepin Garcia blend. Really, that's all there is on the radar at this point. And also, I was giving more thought to doing that Jim Cronin Signature Select by Top Shelf Cigars. There's a notation on the website that you can actually order those, but I still haven't heard anything from the owner of that shop, so I don't know if you can go out and order them or not. I think I'm going to shoot down there either this weekend or next weekend and try to talk to Jim and see if you actually can order those cigars online or over the phone, so that I can get that review done and wrapped up. Otherwise, I'm just going to push it off to the wayside, and it's going to stay there. I'm not going to attempt a third. I'm not going to attempt to get information a third time. It's just it's not worth all the extra effort and time. So that's all there is for right now. So I'm going to kick back, smoke a little bit more, and wrap everything up, do a final third overview, and let you get on your way. Well, welcome back, and as you can see, I'm getting down to final stages of the cigar. I got about 1.5 inches left, and not a whole lot of change over the second third. I did have a problem taking the band off. There was quite a bit of glue that was actually stuck between the band and the wrapper, and I made a pretty significant tear when I did manage to get the band off, and I've smoked through that tear, so everything's okay now. As you can see, the resting smoke is still somewhat heavy. The burn rate's still accelerated, it's still burning kind of fast, but it's burning pretty even. The ash is still a little dark. As far as how it is smoking, it really isn't all that bad. If it weren't for the accelerated burn, I think it would be smoking very, very well. The body's still about medium, but it's on the low end of medium. And the flavor is still pretty mild. I mean, it's toasty and still somewhat nutty. And I'm still getting a little bit of harshness in the back of my throat and in my sinuses, and that's really displeasing. I really don't like that much at all. The finish is still somewhat dry. I mean, it just kind of leaves you with this sort of dry feel in your mouth that I'm not real crazy about either. It lasts on the palate for, same as before, about 2 to 3 minutes, so it's not really long, but it is enough to really bother me because I don't like all the combinations that are going on. I'm just really not into it. Cigar's still smoking a little bit warm. That could be just because I'm puffing on it quite a bit to make sure that I'm comfortable with what I'm saying. As usual, this is completely unscripted. But I mean, overall, that really wraps it up. As far as my overall impressions of the cigar, I probably, this is the last one I have, and it will probably be the last one I have, unless I get one in a sampler or something. It's just not something I enjoy. Even remotely, there's just nothing about this cigar that I'm really pleased with. It's just not enough there to grab my attention, to keep me interested. It's just more like something that I would light up if I wanted to have just something burning in my hand. If I wanted just to have a cigar, and I really didn't care whether it tasted like anything or anything like that, then this is the type of cigar I would light up. There's just really no... It really doesn't give me any enjoyment any way around as far as the flavor is concerned. But, it smokes pretty well as far as the construction and all goes. So that is the positive note. And I'm sure that the Casa Torano has a special place in a lot of humidors. But it just doesn't have that, won't have that place in mine. a decent cigar. If you're a mild cigar smoker, you might want to give it a shot. But if you feel that your tastes are in line with mine, I really would say don't even bother. Just spend the money on any other Carlos Torano cigar, and I think you'll be more than happy. I just don't think this one is even close to the other Torano lines, but that's just my opinion. So that about wraps it up for this particular review. Again, next week I'm really not sure what I'm going to smoke. It's probably going to be the 601 Habano, and I'm really not sure what I'm going to smoke after that either. I've kind of got just an itch to smoke the couple of Rocky Patel Old World Reserve Maduros that I have. So I'm thinking maybe I'll work those in the near future. But it is going to end up being a toss-up. I really don't know what I'm going to be smoking next week. So just play it by ear, I guess. My apologies if you were looking forward to going out and picking up a cigar. If you are that interested, just shoot me an email and I'll let you know what I do plan on smoking, because I'll have to smoke, at least one as early as Wednesday so that I can get 2 or 3 in total by the time I do the review. So that's that, and as always, appreciate you watching. Happy smoking.